My boss attempted to fire me because I was having too much fun. I worked at this office for 3 years, and honestly, it was the best job I'd ever had. Not because the pay was great or the benefits were insane, but because my coworkers and I actually made it bearable. We cracked jokes, played music during slow hours, and sometimes had random dance breaks when we hit our targets. But here's the thing that nobody seemed to care about. We got everything done. I was literally the top performer in the entire building. My numbers were insane. I helped everyone else hit their goals. And we did it all while not wanting to drive into a wall every morning. My boss hated it. This guy was the type of person who thought suffering equaled productivity. If you smiled, you were slacking. If you laughed, you weren't focused. If you enjoyed your job even a little bit, clearly you weren't taking it seriously enough. One day he pulled me into his office and sat me down like I'd committed a felony. He said I was being unprofessional and creating a hostile work environment. I blinked at him. A hostile work environment because I brought donuts and we took a 5-minute break to celebrate closing a huge deal. He leaned forward and said if I didn't tone it down, there would be consequences. So I tried. I stopped the music, stopped the jokes, stopped hyping people up when they were stressed. And you know what happened? Productivity tanked. Everyone was miserable, burnt out, dragging themselves through the day like zombies. My boss noticed, but instead of realizing he was wrong, he blamed me. He said I poisoned the team and now they couldn't function without my circus act. A week later, he called me back into his office. This time he didn't sit me down. He just stood there with his arms crossed and said I was being let go, said I was incompatible with company culture, and that it was time to part ways. I didn't argue. I packed my stuff, grabbed my jacket, and walked out onto the main floor. Everyone saw me leaving. My coworker Sarah looked up from her desk and asked what happened. I told her. She stood up, looked directly at my boss through his office window, and said if he's gone, I'm gone. Then Marcus stood up, then Jessica, then the entire team, all 15 people, threatening to walk out if I got fired. My boss came sprinting out of his office like the building was on fire. He said it was all a misunderstanding and that we could talk it through, but Sarah wasn't having it. She pulled out her phone and opened the group chat where he'd been talking trash about employees for months, calling people lazy, mocking their work, violating about 6 different HR policies in writing. We all marched to HR together and showed them everything. My boss got removed from his position that same week. They promoted Sarah to manager. I got a raise, and now we have dance breaks every Friday, officially sanctioned by corporate. Turns out fun isn't the problem. Micromanaging dead-eyed robots is.